What are the options for a Syrian national in the diaspora to prove their ownership of a house, land, or property? What can be done to prove house ownership with alternative documents, and where can people obtain these documents? Land cadastre, house ownership, green tabo, your title deed, I lost the document, I'm outside the country, legal representation? We have often heard these real estate related terms mainly whenever we talk about property ownership and the fate of property which has been destroyed or which is subject to reconstruction projects. However, we don't necessarily know the meaning of these terms. When it comes to you, what has happened to your property? What kind of ownership document do you carry? Do you still have it or have you lost it? Let us start from the top. Types of records. The land cadastre is the property ownership record that was started in Syria in 1926. It is considered fundamental in proving property ownership. The Land Cadastre Directorate provides the title deed, more commonly known as green tabo. The land cadastre includes a set of papers that describe the condition of one's property and its legal status. These documents include the property documents, daily log, and the zoning and editing plans and the cadastral plans. Registering ownership of a property in the Land Cadastre Directorate happens through a process called zoning and editing, which is conducted by government committees. Zoning means identifying the size and shape of the property, while editing means issuing a file registering all information related to the property. This file includes the names of landowners, the property type, and all rights related to the property. After registering the file, the Land Cadastre Directorate can create a property document. Other government registry records do not provide a title deed but rather a property statement. These registry records are the Provisional Record, the Housing Cooperative Records, the General Organization for Housing Records, the Organization for Military Housing Records. Major types of property. Owned property, a term which refers to the properties that fall inside the borders of cities and towns. Princely property, a term which includes the agricultural lands that falls outside cities and towns. The landowner has the right to disposal without having the right to ownership, and the inheritance is equal between men and women. In this video, we will present information on the documents to prove ownership of property inside cities and towns. Ownership documents. According to the law of evidence, the documents to prove ownership of a property are presented in written form. These documents are divided into official bonds, which are bonds drafted by a government official and include title deed, tabo, court decisions, irrevocable power of attorney issued by a public notary. Ordinary bonds, which include a signature, stamp, or fingerprint and generally take the form of number 1, contracts of all kinds, such as sale, donation, or lease, number 2, receipts of payment or rent, and number 3, a declaration of sale. Utility bills are considered judicial evidence and cannot in themselves prove property ownership. Official bonds. The Land Cadastre Directorate provides the title deed commonly known as the green tabo, and this is considered to be the most powerful document for proving property ownership. It is known as the green tabo simply because the property document is printed on green paper. The title deed includes all property information such as its location, property number, type of ownership names and the property owners, and any indication of violation of rights related to the property such as a usufruct right, label of attachment, or easement right. A single copy of the green tabo is given only to the landowner or their legal representative. If the green tabo is lost, the landowner or the legal representative must submit a document replacement request at the relevant Directorate of Land Cadastre. There is also another document called the white tabo, which is a real estate statement issued by the Provisional Registry of the municipality. This document is normally issued in cases where the property is not zoned and edited. And since 95% of the property in Syria is zoned and edited, this document is not very common. You don't have a green tabo? That's not a problem. Other official documents not issued by the Land Cadastre Directorate are used to prove ownership, such as a court decision, a consensual sale contract, or an irrevocable power of attorney issued by the public notary. The court decision. The court decision is a decision on a case filed between the seller and the buyer which describes the property and proves the sale of the property by court order. After selling disputes over a property, the court decision becomes a substitute to the green tabo. If you have previously obtained a court decision and lost it, you should obtain a new copy from the court. Irrevocable power of attorney issued by the public notary. This power of attorney secures property ownership rights by registering a reservation note on the property with the Land Cadastre Directorate. Consensual sale contract between the previous and the current owners. This contract is not registered with the court but is used to file a lawsuit which will be recorded on the property document. Let us assume that your home was included in the master plan for developing or reconstructing an area. What would be the procedures to follow to prove your ownership of the property? First, you should know the law according to which your property will be developed. The text of the law should mention the legally permitted timeframes by which you need to submit your documents to prove ownership. Any of the previously mentioned documents should be submitted to the administrative authority within the stipulated time limit. The administrative authority then assigns it to a dispute resolution committee, and its decision would be considered as a court decision. Second, if you are outside the country, a relative or a legal representative is allowed to represent you. The relative's permitted extent of kinship will also be determined in the law. Third, in regards to how to get legal representation, you can consult a legal expert in your country of residence. It should also be noted that all decisions and updates on the reconstruction or development projects can be found on the notice boards at the administrative authority or published in local newspapers. Keep yourself informed on these updates in case you need to file an objection. In case you don't have the documents mentioned in this video, watch the following video from Syrbanism to learn about the alternative documents you can provide.